Charlie wants to be an astronaut. Take the long, tall train to the sun.
Hello everyone and welcome to more for the Golden Path Internationals. I'm your host and commentator, BlackShadow, tournament of course being sponsored by Unfussable Narrative. Today begins action for Group J out of Pot 2. And it's going to be a very interesting group for me to keep an eye on for because, as you can see here, this is my very own group. This is the one I've got drawn for the tournament. Now, I'm going to be doing commentary for this game today. It's a Week 4 game, playing a little bit in advance due to a bit of scheduling, moving around. However, I did, for ethical reasons, just to keep everything above board, ask the players in this one to see if they were happy for me to do commentary for this. I know there are one or two people that don't particularly want people from their own group to be watching their games or playing games with them for practice. Now, that's totally fine, so I asked the question, and they said that it was all okay and above board, which is cool. Should be an interesting group as well for me as well. There's definitely some decent players in here, a couple of fun ones as well. We got a Dragira at the top here. I say Dragira because I cannot pronounce it fully. Apparently translates into English as drunken chicken, and also a side note for Strale as well. Now, fun little side bit for you guys. When I first started playing this game, very first time I ever started playing this game on TTS, Strale was one of the first people that I ever played with, and played very few games with. So it's super cool to be able to be in this tournament and grouped in the same place as them as well. So it should be super awesome, a lot of fun. And it should be an interesting group for sure. I'm expecting a bit of unorthodox plays from a few players here and there and be kept on the toes, which is fine with me. I like trying to keep other people guessing as well what I do here. So this should be an interesting contest, and we'll make a good starter to see how Group J is going to be sizing up for this tournament. Alright then, so setup is beginning for our game here. So let's go see what we've got here. So it's going to be featuring a Hjorth, Shadowblade, BoitPigScouting, and Nukeall. Unfortunately, this is not an immortality game. Let's have a look at what we got here for the Imperium row for this one then. It is going to be Hjorth picking up first here. So a pretty curious row and a very aggressive row here opening up here. Treachery, a high coster for 6. Plenty of combat potential though. Spice Smugglers, Smugglers Fopter. Both Spice Smugglers out straight away, so that could put some pressure on shipping early, someone trying to make a punt for that alliance. And Gunfopter, very strong, very versatile card, lets you get a lot of decent second places and even some wins you weren't expecting. Very tricky to play against that. Tech-wise, we've got Artillery as well, which is a crazy row for Artillery. Massive value. Training Drones as well is hardly terrible here, and Sonic Snoopers as well, so this is going to be a very, very, very aggressive row here. I'd expect to see a lot of combat-style leaders. ECAS might see some use here as well. Unfortunately, we can't see leader selection, as we've not been made for GM yet, so that is now done. So we get to see. So pick up first for Nukeall here. Takes Paul Atreides, which is a very brave pick here. I think Pawachi in full spot is not bad by any stretch of imagination. But this is not the one I probably would have picked from. What else we got here? Beast, Baron, Lido, Tezia, Hundro. I think as much as I enjoy playing as Paul Atreides, people know I do a lot, and I think this is not really his type of game, but I think it's totally fine. This is a brave pick. Given that you know you're going to be taking on Baron, I'd be stunned if we don't see Beast. Hundro surely is going to be in this as well. So this is going to be very interesting. Maybe he's going to try and go hard early for a combat if it's a victory point in the first two of them. Hit Hardy Warriors and then just kind of turtle up and go for Spiceman's Flows. We shall see. It is the Beast Raban for BoitPig. Seems totally reasonable here. I would get that. Baron Harkonnen in second place for Shadowblade. And Hjorth's got an interesting one here. Could go Tezia. Tezia feels a bit dicey, though. You'd think Baron is very likely here. You'd expect to see Baron and or Beast in this game. Lido looks okay. I think I'm probably picking Hundro. Ilban could also be of use here. Depends kind of what style you want to go for. But when you see a row like this, you've got to be expecting there's going to be a ton of aggression on the board. There's going to be a lot of violence in this game. So do you want to fight fire with fire, or do you think that other players are going to and you kind of go for your own niche here? It's a little bit of a tricky call, but Tezia it is, and he's going to have Baron right behind. So this is going to be a huge conflict for alliances here. Paul Atreides has potential for a bit of niche here. We shall see how we go. Here we go then. off to the races. It is the normal 2 picks for the Baron for Alliances for Masterstroke. Here we go then. So Tessia finishes up first, finds a Signet Ring right away, which is not what you want to see here. Might want to see what the conflict is, however. If Tessia can find... If this is a... It is an influence point. Oh, that's enormous for both Beast and Tessia. Baron and Tessia. But Tessia goes first. So play here has got to be Hardy Warriors. Take the conflict. And then shift your point with Signet Ring to ship it to Fold Space and get immediate access to shipping. That's got to be the play here. Oh, but she doesn't. She blocks it up. And now Baron is going to have the option to do it himself, and that is, I think, that is an early miss here. I honestly believe if it's a influence skirmish, if you got Tessia and Baron and you have access to hardwares, you just have to smash that, and he does. So that's an early bonus for the Baron here. Tessia's going to have to find ways to kind of shut it off here. Beast immediately taking artillery with the Signet Ring. I don't hate that. Jeez. Well, this is awkward. Alright, that happens. Yeah, just one person touches stuff. Oh, so Flagship's the next one here, which is going to be of interest here for the techs. That's pretty good. It's just he's signaling. Beast does have both of their influence cards, so it looks like they're going to just kind of play a bit passive for now and set up for later conflict, which I think is totally fine. Beast is going to have to probably pick, and he's going to have to pick spots here, mainly looking to get involved when victory points are. Let Tessia and Baron fight after the rest here. Paul's going to go for Wealth. Not a great hand for Paul Atreides, so I don't hate Wealth play here. I think that's totally fine. And then back to Tessia Vernius here. So Tessia has probably realized maybe might have been a nicer idea to have gone Hardy Warriors here, but alas. Signet Ring's here, so I guess we're going to see what the plan is for Tessia. Assuming she's not going to use it, though, unless she's going to, like, cycle away from shipping. Yeah, and this is why I don't like this. As Tessia, you want to kind of hope to get your Signet Ring later on. You want to get it preferably your second hand. Is usually kind of nice. But it is what it is. Baron's up next. Baron does have their other diplomacy card. I don't hate just going steel suits here. Also does have interest in revealing straight away for Smuggler's Thopter, which is sitting on the row, and I totally would not hate to see that. Let's get a slightly better camera on for you guys. I haven't had a chance to set a camera for you today, so I apologize. Been that kind of day. So Baron, I think, just weighing up here. Do you want to take the action to, like, steel suits? I think that's fine. Or do you want to go ahead and take Smuggler's Thopter now, knowing you're going to get some use out of it? I think it's pretty close. I honestly don't hate the reveal. I think you've played Seek Allies first. I think I don't hate it. I don't hate revealing here for Smuggler's Thopter. It's a pretty good card. But also going Steel Suit is good. It just keeps the water balance there. Straight Flat is going to be up for fighting. Also just puts in the extra troop as well. I think that's a little unnecessary. Like, you don't need to be doing that. He's terrified of losing the combat here. So Shadowblade going all in for the shipping here. Bit unnecessary to put the 5th troop, but I think you could probably save that out. No one's really ever going to fight you here for this, so... You know, he's worried about getting Carfax and someone gets ambushed or something, but even then, like, you've got a dagger in hand, it's going to be hard for you to lose this fight. Regardless, so back to BoitPig. So BoitPig has got 3 in hand. It's kind of a tricky one here. So it is Solari in the combat, but you have to go before Paul and Tessia, and you have to feel that Paul probably has city access. Tessia you don't know about, and also there's daggers, but Carfag looks fine. Get a couple of troops in minimum. Finds cannon turrets. I don't know if that's going to be too useful this game. Do I see Dreadnoughts coming in this game? I don't know. I'd be a little surprised. Just going to put in 1 here. I think I would like to see 2. I think you got to charge a price of admission here to stop both of them coming over the top with, like, mining spots here. 1 I don't hugely like. Has no daggers, so maybe a little concerned here. Paul does find a dagger. Paul should probably be putting 2 in here, I think. You've got to charge Tessia out of this fight here. And I think that's totally fine. Both city spots are gone. Best you can do is mining. And back to Tessia, who has 5 to buy here. And you know what? I actually would love to see Tessia early reveal here. And take Smuggler's Thopter away from the Baron. And does indeed decide she's going to do so. Don't hate this at all. Seems fine. Spy Trader turns up here. This is a massive card for, like, Baron here. 2 reveal, 4 to buy, but it is out of the Baron's price range now. Sacrificed it, so Liaison will have to do. 2 to buy, 3 to buy, actually, for the Beast, and he's going to take 1 of the Spy Smugglers, again, arming up artillery. And Paul Atreides has got 4 to buy, so interesting spot here for Paul, what to pick here. Openers does turn up in the row as well. Spy Trader is a really good card, but you need to get it online. I really enjoy using Fopter for Paul Atreides. I think it's a really good card. Your second deck, you're going to get a lot more use out of it. But it depends how you see it. You might also go Spice Mongers to try and get hold of shipping sooner. But it needs city access and Spice, which is going to be difficult for you to fund, I reckon. So it depends how you see it. Spice Trader is a 2 reveal. This will be good for later on when you need to start buying Spice Flows, which I think it's almost inevitable that Nukeall is going to have to go down a Spice route this game. Trying to go toe-to-toe these leaders sucks, and Spice Trader is the pick, and yeah, I think both are totally fine. Baron is going to win this comfortably. Paul is going to get access to free Solari and a couple of coins for the Beast as well. No one has the second water yet, so Great Flat is still up for fighting. The Beast did not play his either his diplomacy card, so holding on to those for later on. Interesting. Paul Atreides is going to start cycling through his deck already. This is one of the things in Paul as well. When you start using Ring, you get your power card sooner. Didn't find it this time. Does have the prescient ability, though. You must remember to use this. As long as you have a draw deck, you can look at the top card at any time to see what it is. And the idea is you want to basically pull, string your moves together with the knowledge of what your top card is, and then it allows you to chain your moves together and do things that other people just can't do, because you can check that. So Evoke's just letting Paul in here. So if you do Alt-Shift on the deck, you see the bottom card. So Dagger here is the next card. But if you do Alt-Shift on the deck, you see the bottom card of the deck here. So that is not legal information. Paul is not allowed to. Must take the top card off. Anyway, so Baron goes instead of shipping immediately. I mean, that's fine. I don't know what he's going to do next here. Beast is going to take the Spice and Imperial Basin, arming up a little bit there, which is nice. Got 2 daggers and both convincing arguments, so curious to see what the plan is going to be. I think there's going to be a trip to training drones, I suspect, or maybe troop transports here. Might be interested in the 5-Fiction Engineer. Looks a pretty good pick for me. Paul Atreides is going to be next. So this is the Raid Stockpiles combat. So it's going to be... It's one that if it's like round 5, round 6 is not very profitable. But at this point in the game, I think it's totally fine having access to this Spice. Paul is just going to go ahead and ship here. Take the coin. Gets up to 6. I think Wealth is being prepped here. Finds the second dagger, as we noted. And so the next card, I won't do this anymore, but so the next card would be Convincing Argument. Just to give you an idea of how Prescience works. Not a lot of you see how Paul actually plays in combat, so that's how that works. But I will stop looking at the top card, because that will remember him to do it himself, which is not fair. Tessie goes Fold Space, which is going to cut off the Baron. First Snooper token here. Tessie has 4 Snooper tokens, and so each time you get one, you can enact the thing. Chance to discard a card for a Spice, which she does. Discards the dagger, pretty standard. But the Snooper tokens later on get very, very significant. You know, 3 and 4 is a bonus bump, which is huge. So what does Baron want to do here? Does pick up Dispatch and Envoy with his Ring ability, which is pretty good here. And he could actually go Steel Suits right now and lock up the Great Flat, which he's going to probably want. And he's also going to be able to lock up this Alliance immediately, which seems pretty nice. And you know what? As Baron Harkonnen, I think that'd be my move. I would turn Dagger into a trip to the Steel Suits, take the Alliance. You take the water, you're hosting Great Flat. No one else has a way of getting there currently. Getting the extra water is not in the combat. And then you pick up a ton of Spice next turn and you do something with it. I think that is my probable way forward here. You're not going to be able to get to instead of shipping very much. Tessia is going to cut you off here, so... and you're going to have 4 to buy, which is good. Gunfopter's a good one for you. You might pick up some more Liaisons. The Spice, you can go, you know, Sonic Snooze is big for you. I think that'd be my play here as Baron. What else are you doing here? You can pick up 3 Spice, but you're not putting any troops in, which I don't like. You could go... there isn't really anything else to do here. You know, I think that's the way to do it. I think the chance to take the Alliance early and also just cut off everyone else from water is a little too significant, and I think that's what we're going to see here from Baron, and I think this is the right play. Just ticks all the boxes here, and that just means you're getting the Great Flat first, so pretty nice. Beast is going to take training drones, so that's obviously going to feed the war machine that's being built here. It's the second tech as well, so keeping on looking to take hold of Ixon Engineer, which I don't think anyone else is going to take in front of you. You're looking pretty good for that, so this is not a bad start for Boit. Paul Atreides back up here. Wealth looks pretty tempting. It's kind of a shame you got both your daggers. You could also consider going Mentat here as well. Mentat has extra value for pool Atreides because you always know what your top card is. So you always know, for example, what you're drawing in. In this case, it's convincing, stuff like that. So it kind of comes down both ways how you want to do this. If you know you're going to pick up Mentat, that gives you 5 to buy. And Paul Jason can get a ton of value out of Mentat, but I actually just don't hate going Wealth here. You get to your victory, your first point with them straight away. Gives you a shot to go Alliance there later on if you want, which is not a bad one for Paul to target. And then pick it up there. But also just going Mentat to draw through your deck and then going Wealth, I also don't hate. I mean, you can go both ways. The trick you're going to make with Paul is you've got to decide, can you finance Mentat? I know you're going to see it a lot here. I think in a game like this, you're going to see it more often than not. But he's going to just play it safe, take the 2 Solari, and prep up for Swordmaster next round, which is not guaranteed, unfortunately. The problem with Paul here is all these triangles are out, so he's going to have to find what he's going to have like a coin flip to get there next round, which is going to be a bit of a problem here. Anyways, back to Tessia Vernius. Tessia probably has to get involved with Carthag here. Seems hard to turn this down. Beast can take the combat probably if he wants, but Tessia I think should be going Carthag. I don't hate it. You know, even if you get second place, 2 spies for some troops is good. The intrigue's always nice, makes you tricky to play against. Ooh, picks up Double Cross. This is a nice one. Solari to basically get an extra troop in for you and cost a troop for an opponent of your choice. You know what? I don't even hate that. You might even consider using this now. I mean, I probably wouldn't. It has 2 uses. Obviously, it's a nice way to kind of level the playing field against someone who goes in super early. But it also allows you, sometimes you'll see players will only come in with 1 troop to get like a cheap 2nd or 3rd place. And you can just double cross to take them out of conflict entirely. Also has some use against people that players that are using like artillery and also like restricted ordnance with the High Council to get swords, only putting like 1 troop to get cheap second place. A double cross is a nightmare. The double cross does happen immediately, so gonna restrict Beast from the Spice, which I don't totally hate. Also cycling for another intrigue. Beast will not be able to take this one. He will only be able to get up to 6 max with cannon turrets. Tessia has the dagger behind, so it's going to take the win here. Thopter for the Baron looks good. Kwisatz Haderach turns up on the row here. Someone's going to make a play for this. I wonder if Baron might be tempted. X-Engineer taken for the Beast. Makes logical sense. Memicores as well, and Sonic Super. So 2 super cheap techs here. So really nice spot for the Baron to get a point here. Paul's going to have 3 to buy. I'd probably just be taking a Liaison. You want to keep up with these 2 influence cards. You're going to have to go down this route here eventually of picking up Spice Must Floats. It's going to be a way to get in victory points mid to late game. You're not going to be able to fight in the combat here, so I think this is right. And then Tessia will not be buying, but will be taking the conflict down here, which would be pretty nice. So 3 Spice for Tessia. Did she not already do that? Yes, I guess she didn't. Okay, well, she's just making extra duper sure then. Yes, she's forgot to do that. Okay, well, whatever. So she takes the conflict down. Terrified of the Beast here having an intrigue. I don't think... Could have saved a troop there, been a little bit more creative, but hey. Finds Ambush. Totally solid. 4 swords is always nice to have, especially early to mid-game. That can get you some victory points you weren't expecting otherwise. When people have less ways of combating, that's a nice pickup for Tessia. Tessia will want... a lot of players here are going to want to find a victory point from conflict before this game is over. Next up is Siege of Carthag. Early in the spin here is pretty significant. See what Paul's got next. Paul's got a dagger upcoming here, but it will be the Beast first. So Beast has his ring. He's got Seek Allies here. Training drones. What do you want to do here as Beast? I think you've got to start hitting like still suits. You've got troops in hand. You've got training drones as backup. Training drones gives something like still suits a lot more value because at least you're getting a troop from there. You could also barrel in with Hardy Warriors immediately, given everyone has access with water, which is kind of scary. And that's going to be intimidating here. Although Tessia's going to go shipping, and if you go still suits, Baron has to go Spice Must Flow first. Not Spice, he must go Great Flat surely first. So I think still suits with training drones get free troops in. Or even just put 2 troops in and have it garrison. You've got your signet ring as backup as well. But you've got to start making access to factions here. Of course, if you can get a faction alliance, his ring gets stronger, which really, really needs. But he's going to go for tech negotiation first, and he's just going to bank this now. Get the memo quarters bump, which I don't hate. Another cheap tech here for wind traps. That might be of more value to players than you'd think otherwise. What does Beast want to take this bump with? What faction does he want to go for? I don't know. It's kind of a tricky one here. The easiest one for him to get is going to be probably the Bene Gesserit, but it's not the best one for him, really. Just going to start making his way, working onto shipping he'll get eventually, which, you know, he's going to limit use out of. Paul Atreides is going to go into conflict first. He's going to pull his dagger out. I would be putting probably all the troops in here. That gives him access as well to his Swordmaster, which he wants. So that's pretty significant. I'd be putting them in here. Put them in, get your Swordmaster, and then reevaluate. By that point, I think you're going to be probably out of combat spaces. And second place here of a spice and an intrigue is not bad for 3 troops, and I don't hate it. Tezia pulls her diplomacy card. Both are convincings. Not much else going on other than that, though. Tezia's going to take the spice. No, she's not. She's going to shipping, my bad. Apologies. So she's going to go there. Tezia, I imagine, is going to make the push for the spacing. I think you got to do spacing here. You're ahead of the Baron. I think it's the alliance to go for. It's theirs if you want it. No one else is going to really be able to get there faster than you, I don't expect, without doing crazy stuff to get there. So, I mean, it seems logical. Going to take the money. That's fine. I wouldn't even hate seeing Tezia going Conspire and readying up Swordmaster for next round. But I think she might actually consider going Hardy Warriors. I just think the fact she was looking at Fremen just for a moment, maybe belying the fact she's got Hardy Warriors on the mind here. Baron is going to go ahead and take the Haggard Basin, as no one bothered to... no one decided they were going to take that spice. So just going to monopolize the spice. Here comes Hardy Warriors for Beast now. It seems logical. Put in 4 troops. Looks good. And that is the training drones, so that's pretty significant. So Beast is going to take this combat down, pretty much guaranteed. Swordmaster for Paul looks fine. I don't think you need to go Mentat right now. If you can get it first, do so. Now it's up to Tezia. Tezia, I think, was having ideas of Hardy Warriors, but that's now gone. Steel Suits also looks fine. If you can Steel Suit, you're forcing Baron to go Great Flat now, which he doesn't really want to do. And you can put some troops in. No, she's just going to go ahead and take the Alliance and call it a day. And get that and prep up a Swordmaster that way. You know what? I don't hate that. I think that's fine. Baron Harkonnen wants to get some troops in to get value for Gunfoctor, but I don't see how he can do that. Unless he uses Conspiring, which he does do. And again, this is where Gunfoctor just gives you so many more options you would do otherwise. And now you see the value of Conspire goes up drastically because of Gunfoctor. It's really, really significant. So, Beast is going to reveal, take a Liaison. I don't know if I like taking the Liaison there from Beast. If you're going to buy a 2-coster, I think I just buy Spy Smugglers. You've got Artillery. I think this is getting... I think you've got to commit down this route and just say, I'm just going to bully the players off the board here. I don't like the Liaison buy. I'm not going to lie. I kind of don't like it. I think you're like backing stuff that, oh, maybe I'll buy Spice of Float at some point. Well, maybe, but the cards you've been buying already and the fact you're not going to be doing much trashing this game, most likely, I kind of don't like that. So we'll see how that goes. Paul's got a bonus action here. Curious to see what Paul wants to do. I would probably go smuggling. I think smuggling is fine here. You can smuggle now, and then you can smuggle at some point later on and get a bump with, like, the Emperor and make a punt for that. You got nothing for Spice Trader. Spice Trader is not online. You have 6 to buy. You got 7 to buy at this point. You could reveal and take Shai Halud, which looks fun. I don't know if that's a great card. It gets you to do a lot of card trashing, at least, and that's kind of the main value of it. Or you can just play a card and smuggle for 6 and get Treachery or Opulence, but it's going to take Shai Halud here. I think this is mainly just for the card trashing effect, mainly. I think is the point. I don't think this is going to be as much for combat, but yeah, getting a nice, concise deck for Paul is really good. You can get your power cards super, super often. And maybe finds a way to get Shai Halud in for a combat, which he wasn't expecting otherwise. And he will be getting Fremen cards, like, obviously, Spice Trader, like Liaisons. So I think this is not a bad buy. I don't hate the early reveal for it at all. It's either that or a smuggle, and I think this is totally good. Tezzy's going to reel for 4. Don't really know what Tezzy's going to buy here. Spice Hunter turns up. It's kind of a meh card. I don't think I'll be buying that as Tezia, but she does. Maybe a little bit of shopping. But doesn't get it. Goes to Liaison as well. Fine. And then Baron is going to reveal for free. He will get a troop in if he wants, which I imagine he will probably do. It's a troop for a spice. He could second wave to cycle out against Paul if he wants, but he's going to decline and just hold fire for now. Okay then. Beast wins. And not a bad second place for Paul. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Alright then, so round 3. Paul is going to open up here. Paul finds Sage Incident. That is a huge card for you. Given you just bought Shai-Hulud, that is an enormous, enormous card. Really big. Alright then, so let's see what we get. Now, Paul does not get any prescience use. He has no deck. So it's in his interest to cycle that as soon as possible. We'll see when he wants to do that. Tezia pulls Fold Space. Tezia's going to be looking to go for Swordmaster. Baron with kind of a rubbish hand here. Not too good. I imagine we might well see a Spice Smugglers from the Beast here, if he can, to get his second shipping bump here. I imagine we'll see that. Or his access to Interstellar sorted out. What do I want to do with Paul here? What's the first action you want? Don't know. Not entirely sure here. What would I be doing? I think I would. I'd honestly consider Mentat getting wealth, because I want to be trying to get as much Mentat use as possible. If you can Signet Ring to Mentat and draw 2 cards, one which you know what it is, that's really significant. But Smuggling's also fine. I don't know if I'd be taking the cash. He's gonna take the cash immediately. Now, that's interesting. Is Paul Atreides eyeing up some high counter action? I think that's what we're gonna be seeing here. And does find Shai-Hulud. That maybe changes the game plan a little bit here. Maybe might see Dagger Shai-Hulud to trash it, perhaps? I don't hate it. We'll see what the plan is. Shai-Hulud does give some fun options that you wouldn't have otherwise. It does give mining spaces a lot of extra value that you wouldn't see otherwise in the Rise of Its expansion. Tezia's going to go up first here. Tezia is going to go into Cellar. She kind of has to, obviously. Baron is 1 away from finding his way to Swordmaster. I don't know. He might consider Bindu Suspension here. He won't be. In theory, he knows what his next card is, which is Reconnaissance, because it's the only one left. So if he's worked it out, he'll know that's it. Which isn't a great card for him, anyways. Kind of curious to see what Baron Harkonnen wants to do here. Baron Harkonnen is going to intercept high count, so it looks like Paul Atreides is probably arming up for that, which gives extra value now for Paul to go Mentat with the dagger instead, and get some value out of diplomacy here while you're at it. So this is going to be nice for me with Paul. You get this value, you get a lot of flexibility, as long as you're into thinking your feet a bit. Convincing Arguments coming as well, that's a nice one to find. Beast does indeed do as we were expecting. Spice Smugglers to Carfax, finds he wants to Awaken, which is a nice one for him. That's a good point. You imagine he'll get value out of that sooner or later. So Beast is finding his way to finding points elsewhere here, which is good. Back to Paul. Again, I think Mentat's the way to go. Convincing Argument is a nice one to have in the back pocket. Get some higher buys here. Give you some options. Treachery's on the row. Opulence is on the row. So I think I like this. And then you can again use Shai-Hulud to trash this out and get some troops get ready to go later on. Tezia Swordmasters, as you would expect. Baron has 7 to buy. He could go Tech Negotiation here and prep up for Kwisatz Haderach. He could Bindu Suspend and gear up for Kwisatz Haderach. Kind of curious to know what he's doing here. He's keeping an eye on Tezia though, so maybe he's considering. Obviously, eventually he needs to take the spice from Great Flat here, and he's got to be concerned. He's now getting out action by players, so he's concerned that say like Tezia or Paul could go Steel Suits and then Great Flat ahead of him. So I think he kind of has to take Great Flat now. But I wouldn't hate, actually. Yeah, I think you got to take Great Flat now, and then you can Bindu Suspend on your reveal, get back to 7 Persuasion. If you want to for something. But I mean, there's 6 spice there. It's kind of hard to turn that down. Because now you're getting, your economy on actions is being shortened, so... it's very dangerous to leave it. You're asking for someone to take it from you. I think you got to take it now and take the 6 spice. I mean, to not do so, you're playing with fire and takes it. And especially as Baron, you want to keep people shut out of the game as much as you can. Putting in 1 troop's fine. He might not get anything back for that by the end of this, but we'll see. So, back to the Beast. Beast has his diplomacy card, and I would probably be making use out of this for something. I don't know what I'd be using it for, but it's kind of sitting there. You could also just reveal and take Treachery or Opulence. Again, both of these are seriously good cards here. Really, really significant. Your deck is 12 cards, which is not huge. And both these cards are really valuable. Although having Opulence as well as, like, some other things you've got in your deck is... you got to start being careful you're not being too reveal heavy and it's kind of compromising your actions. You can be a little bit careful of that. But we'll see what the plan is from Beast here. I feel like the diplomacy's there. You need to be using. You really should be trying to use it for something. You could go Steel Suits maybe. Prep up from Hardy Warriors. You could take Wealth and just take a couple of coins. Secrets doesn't feel terrible. Open revealing, just revealing for like Opulence also doesn't feel bad. But you've got a lot of cash on hand in theory, but you have not taken Swordmaster. So it's a bit of a false number there. Unless you're going to go this game out Swordmaster, which is super dangerous for Beast. I expect we'll see an action here. If Beast doesn't diplomacy, I'd be kind of stunned. Is he considering going Arakeen here just to shut out Tesia Vernius? Seems kind of insane. I don't think I'd be doing that. It kind of doesn't feel very valuable here. It is Cloak and Dagger Bow, which is the combat, which is a bump into Intrigue, which is not bad. And second place here is, again, totally fine for this earlier stage of the game. He's going to go Arakeen just to try and shut out Tesia here. Finds a dagger, so he's going to just take the combat down and just deny it entirely. Interesting. Interesting. I'm not even sure Tesia would have gone Hardy Warriors to combat that. I think it's... I don't know. I don't really like that. It kind of gives me a feeling of maybe just a little scared, perhaps. I don't know. Interesting to see. I mean, I don't hate it. It can't be bad, I guess, to show up first place like that, but... I mean, now Tesia can just do kind of anything else she wants. She's got all the flexibility in the world. Go Conspire. She could go Selective... Sorry about that. There's a lot of options here. Paul's going to go ahead and end. I would go Imperial Basin now. Trash the dagger. And would I be garrisoning the troops with Shai-Hulud? Or putting them in? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of a tough one. I think I'd be probably putting them in here. I think. And it puts the pressure on Tesia to do something. And you've got to charge like overhead on the Baron here. You have got Stage Instant, which will be useful later on. You don't need to rush that. Bags of time. I think one's fine. I think you should put in something here just to kind of ask Tesia the question. Tesia is going to go to Tech Negotiation, which is interesting. And she's going to drop the Alliance temporarily to start making progress at the in theory that she can obviously go instead of shipping and smuggling and get that back, which is fine. Baron's going to go ahead and take Treachery, which is a dangerous card for him. No question. Beast is going to have 4 to buy. And obviously the swords. Not a great board for 4. Assassination Mission isn't that bad. I don't even hate it. You've got artillery, so you're getting extra value out of it. I don't want to see more liaisons, though, because you're kind of, like, starting to pollute your deck with a lot of stuff here. Going for 2 liaisons, so kind of holding on for maybe some late-game selective breeding chances, I guess, for a Spice Plus Flow. I don't know. I think there's a great license just to pick up daggers and just be super aggressive on the board here, but it's kind of deciding to go half and half here as Beast, which is risky. Paul has a bonus action. You could go selective breeding here and use the spice. And I don't hate it. You got to use your diplomacy. You could go Wealth, get closer to an alliance. If you can get an alliance with Paul, that's awesome. Secrets. I mean, kind of anything's fine here. Obviously not Hardy Warriors, but I go. Yeah, I don't hate secrets, but I think sensitive breeding is not bad. When there's some big cards out here like Opulence, Inquisitor, Haderach, you've got 5 persuasion in hand. You know, you've only got one convincing argument out here. You might well be able to get Inquisitor Haderach right now if you make this play. You'd have to trash something from the play, though. And this is awkward. Doesn't want to trash any of his cards here. If you trash Dune, very hard to find a way to Inquisitor Haderach here. So I don't hate Steel Suits. Getting the progress there. Out of curiosity, yeah, it would have been very difficult to find his way to Inquisitor Haderach, and he would not have made it. So Steel Suits take the water is fine. Tesia has 2 to buy. I don't think she will. I'd be kind of surprised. Everyone having a nice good old look at everyone else's deck, as is a thing in TTS. Assassination mission is going to be taken here, which I don't hate. And Paul's going to have 4 to buy. You've got 10 cards. I honestly would buy both Liaisons and Rock and Roll. You can trash Reconnaissance at some point, and you're going to have a very, very high persuasion deck going. And between your Signet Ring and Research Station and Tech Negotiation and Mentat, you're going to be buying Spice and Arakeen. You're going to find your way to Spice Must Flows reasonably commonly. So I honestly would just take both Liaisons and call it a day. And just know that Shai Khulud is going to trim your deck very, very significantly. Going for Scout. I think going fishing there a little bit for a decent free cost. I didn't find it. Power play now out on the deck here. You gotta take a Liaison here as Pool Atreides. Really gotta be taking a Liaison. Wow, chose Scout. That must be just going fishing for some better cards. I just didn't find it. Ooh, being tempted for getting the bumps here, but the C-axis is not good for you. Oh, I think I'd be just going Liaisons. Keep it simple. Just go for it in the end. I think going a little bit off the deep end in any event. So Paul's going to get 3rd place here. There won't be any conflicts played here. Beast is going to win this comfortably. Beast is going to be an interesting spot here. So Beast is going to have 4 intrigue. So he's going to play cannon turrets now just to cycle it out. So he doesn't have anything stolen from him. So, you know, don't even hate that. Seeing that as the other players just cycling out a conflict. Also shows you that he values the other card, clearly, and does not want to getting stolen. So, Beast is going to get a Spice and Intrigue. Paul gets a choice. I think it's a tricky one. I'd probably be taking the Intrigue here. Beast finds Charisma, which maybe gives credence to what he found earlier on with the Liaisons. Finds Guilforization as well, which is really significant. That's a nice one. There might be some shenanigans here with the Alliance, potentially. We'll see what happens here. And Paul Atreides finds Strong. This is a really, really good one for Paul here. Who's going to be getting troops, but he's going to use them for different reasons. For stage instant, for strong arming. So that's a really nice utility card, that. And needs to make some catch-up work with factions as well. So can he go to, like, Wealth or Conspire and get the Alliance on the spot? That's really nice. Nice find. Today's up first, so we'll go into the shipping with Smugglers. Is going tech here. Is she going to go Spice and use it all to get hold of Flagship? I think that's what we're about to see here. I think Flagship's getting taken by Tesia Vernius. And she is going to do so. So she takes the +2 for the shipping and then the -2 for the tech cost up there. So that will cost all of the Spice there. So Flagship taken. That's a point. Did she have a negotiator? She did have a negotiator. Yes, she did. So that's 4 points for Tesia. Don't hate that. Baron as well was in a position to take it as well. So I think taking that and getting out of the way can't be bad. Baron's going to go play Bindu here. It's going to go with a bit of a meh hand. So I actually don't hate passing here as Baron and just take the, you do have the option to pass your turn. I actually don't hate doing that here, especially with Gunfox. It's a nice one to leave late. Finds Reinforcements as well. This is a good card for Baron. Really strong. Free slide for 3 troops into combat. Pretty good value there. Beast. Beast finds his Ixian Engineer. So that's nice. He is still going to go ahead and smuggle regardless, though. He's going to not opt to take the trade here. Taking the cash. He does not have his Swordmaster yet. So, challenging Beast to go there first, which I imagine Beast will do. And he does. Paul Atreides is up next. Kind of a meh hand. I don't hate going to... And with Liaison there as well. I should stop doing that as well. I did say I'd stop doing that. It's kind of telling Paul that he should do that. I gotta stop that. Anyway, so Paul here, I don't hate going Mentat. You know, you want to dominate his Paul. Gives you actions, gives you card draw. He could, in a well, go for Spice Must Flow here. Maybe, if he gets lucky. He does want to start hitting factions well so he can strong army. He needs to start getting troops together for stage instant at some point as well. He does have some time left. It's only round 5. Baron's is on the lead with 5 points, but you've got some room here still. Tezzy Avernus, by the way, he's got hold of both her fold spaces here. It's kind of insane. Tezzy's got a bizarre hand. Paul's going to go ahead and take hold High Council now, which I like. That is 8 persuasion, so Quiz's Haderach is available for him. Tezzy Avernus is going to go ahead and take an extra water, courtesy of the second super token. Going still suits here, so going to start charging the spice. Fold space will give an extra card. Fine Signet Ring. Flagships now is also as well available to put in 4-star for free troops. A little expensive, but it's fine. Baron Harkonnen is going to get Sonic... Does he want to go Sonic Snoopers? I mean, the thing is, like, the Texie's got a pretty decent... Oh, man. Spice Allies turns up here. Oh, my goodness me. Beast here is going to be eyeing that up with great interest there. That's a massive tech for Beast here. If he can find his way to that. It's also not bad for Paul. There's a few players that can make use out of that. Interesting to see what the plan's going to be here. He's got a couple of actions. What are we doing here as the Beast? I don't know. I don't hate wealth. Just gets that bump done. Gets a couple of coins, which will be of use for something or another. Yeah, just spotted there. Boit was in danger of some DCing here, so but that isn't what happened. So tournament order is going to be interesting here. As a note, anyone who played in the tournament, if you do have a DC of like the player in turn, for the rest of the round, the turn order will be a bit messy, so you just got to keep an eye on that. People don't play out of sequence because things will happen. People can get missed, so you just got to be a little bit careful. So I'll probably have to keep half an eye out for that. So Beast is going to use Diplomacy here, and he's going to go Wealth. Again, don't hate this. Puts a bit of pressure on other players to do something. You know, you're threatening there. I think this is totally fine. So Paul's going to be up next. Paul's going to go Arakeen, I imagine, so he can look to get hold of Quizit's Haderach here. Or Spiceman's Flow. He's got both options. That's pretty nice. I would just garrison the troops. I would not put any in here. You've got to pay for stage and strong arm. I don't think this combat's valuable enough to you here. I don't really like putting troops in when there's still plenty of actions. There's still some actions to go. I mean, you're going to get probably some value out of it because Baron is out of actions, I guess. But, I mean, you've got to just keep an eye. You know, eventually you're going to need to pay for stage instant. And it could get a little tricky if you start depleting, keeping your garrison very low. Tezzy's up next. Tezzy's going to feel like she's got to get some troops into combat here. Baron cannot go... A Beast cannot find their way to Hardy Warriors. Has no water. So she's just going to bait some more spice. Probably put in... I'd put in a third troop minimum. Is going to drop the Fremen to start getting tokens elsewhere, which is fine. I would definitely put in a third troop, knowing that Beast has artillery and has a fresh deck, and you don't know what he's got in hand. I think you've got to put in at least a third. Your daggers will likely carry you, and you've got ambush as a backup. Also, you got to be careful of this as well with the Baron. So, Baron reveals for 8 and takes Quizit's Haderach, which is unfortunate for that's unfortunate for Paul, but Paul does have at least Spice Must Flow. It's not a disaster. Beast gets to trash the Ixen Engineer on reveal, and is going to use Charisma to pick up the power play, which is very scary. Chome Delegate turns up as well for Beast, which is a ridiculous find, and he'll be grabbing that immediately. Appropriate pulls up here as well. There are various characters who can use that with the influence track, so that's pretty significant. Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. So Paul's got a weird spot here. Paul has 9 in Persuasion in hand. But he has no way to draw any more cards. I'll be honest, I think I reveal, and I take the Spice Must Flow. I mean, you got to start banking points. You've only got 2 at the moment, and it depends what his next card is. But even if you do, how are you going to go ahead and get another card here? You have no access to Mentat outside of Liaison. And Mentat, you don't even have the money for that, so that's out of options. Arakeen is gone. You have no access to Selective. I think I just reveal here, take the point, call it a day. You're going to get hold of a couple of coins as well, which is good for later on. Quiz Hadarek's gone. Opulence is really dicey. You might not even find a way to appropriate. Tessie is still to reveal. You don't know what she's got in her hand here. 5 cards. Looks like appropriate she could well take from you. I think revealing for the Spice is fine. I don't really see what else you can do here. There's nothing else I really like. Spice Trader is not online. Yeah, I'd probably just really take the Spice Must Flow. You've got to start eventually. It's round 5. I don't see any other great options here. I think, what else would you do? Apart from like a research station, why would you bother doing that? You've got the Spice Must Flow now. I think I reveal. And does do so. Yeah, I like this. I think it's the right call. I like this. So we'll find 9 and we'll buy the first Spice Must Flow of the game. We'll need a few more before all is said and done. It's totally fine. Tessie is going to reveal for just a couple. So, might pick a Liaison up. I don't hate seeing Tessie taking a Liaison here. And then she will take the Conflict because no one else has any more swords. So Tessie's going to take Mentat next turn, which is nice for her. She does have her Sword Master, so it's going to be nice to be able to dominate actions. She's also last to go as well, so she is going to have last say on this combat for sure. No, take Skilled Admin instead. I mean, I guess that's fine. You got dominance of shipping, so I guess that's okay. Baron Harkonnen could go second wave here and put in troops and take this combat away, but he's going to hold fire. Does pick up to the victory, it should be noted, so that's pretty significant. He's going to turn it down for now. Gonna wait for a victory combat point to get it. Tessie finds Paul the Snooper, that's fine. Baron needs to take a 4th Intrigue. This is where he will be first to act, though. Finds War of Life. Only one he can use currently is Reinforcements, unless he finds his way to Steel Suits or the Siege. Just going to see what he's going to do first here. He has access to both. Treachery in hand. Pretty nice. A lot of good hands here, actually. Tessie's isn't so great, but Paul's is looking pretty decent. Signet Ring at the bottom of the deck, the next card for Paul Atreides. Try and reformat here where we're viewing. I will, honest to God, I will get the cameras sorted later on. I promise. So what does Baron want to do here? It is Imperial Basin. So this is a nice one to be hitting Hardy Warriors. Only 2 people can get there, though. I wonder if Paul Atreides might use this as like a bit of a chance to go for the stage instant play. He does, or even just put in troops. You've got Shai Halud and just use the swords for it. Kind of curious to see what Paul's going to do here. He's got some interesting choices. And if someone comes in heavily over the top, you can always, like, if you can get 4 troops in, use staged. And you get rid of 3 of them. And you still get sword value. So you're probably going to still take some water. I don't hate that. Baron will go into Cellar Shipping with Signet Ring first, as you would expect. Picking up his 5th Intrigue. Finds Bribery. Wow. Wow. He can use both Intrigues now, can Baron? He's gonna... No way is he gonna use Sonic Snoopers. Wow, he's getting rid of Victor in second wave and reinforcements. Astonishing. Oh my holy crumbs. Whoa. Look at this, what he's found here, though. My God. So those go onto the bottom of the deck here. So, Grand Conspiracy taken, Call the Market taken, and Private Army as well, which is pretty good here. I guess that was a decent spin for the Baron. But the Baron now cannot... The problem with this, though, with Baron getting rid of reinforcements means he's now in danger of secret sealing. And with almost no one with progress on the Bene Gesserit, there's huge value for this. Paul Atreides funds Call the Market. That is a crazy pickup. So Baron here really walking the tightrope, and now someone's got to go secrets and steal here, you'd imagine. It's beginning in the round. People aren't worried about combat yet. I think Baron is going to lose one of these. I think it's one of the reasons he's not taken bribery and not paid for it. He's trying to protect his his endgame cards here. Grand Conspiracy and Corner Market tying fairly nicely into each other as well. Both have that value for getting spice. Wow. Wow. So he is, yeah, so, Boit here, just DC again, having some connection issues. So we'll wait for him to come back. But yeah, like I said, I think Paul should be hitting secrets, I think, every single time. And I would be probably strong-arming if you need to as well. The troops there and strong-arm it. And yeah, just get to work here, I think. Looks pretty good to me. And Baron in danger. If Paul Atreides finds Corner Market, that is going to be an unbelievable pickup. And a great stroke of fortune here. So Beast is going to go first. Beast is going to start picking up some spice here. He needs to start getting eventual use out of Sleep Must Awaken, so it's going to be playing on the mind. Don't know if he's gonna hold on the troops for now. That's fine. Has Signet Ring. I might as well see some use. Paul Atreides, you've got to go secrets, man. There's so much value. So much value. He does. Good play from Paul. I like it. So gets hold of a free entry, gets recruit missions, so he's got choices, and will be able to get a steal out of the Baron. So, draws one of the 5 randomly if he finds Corner. Oh, what does he pick up? What does he find? I still want to know. Oh, finds Water of Life. That's still good. That's still a victory point for Paul. That he can easily turn that into a Spice Must Flow. So, it's not a bad prize. I'd take that. You'd rather that than Private Army. Private Army's pretty bad for you. But that was the risk Baron took. When you start cycling cards out, you might not be able to play them. It's the risky take. So, yeah. And use it immediately, does Paul Atreides. You know, I don't hate this. Ready yourself up for all sorts of options here. Oh, Find Space Must Flow. I mean, you don't hate seeing it, I guess. It could be better. Tezzy Avernus is going to go take the double bump here with the Bene Gesserit. I'm a little surprised that Paul decided not to go and strong-arm this. I think there's plans to strong-arm the Emperor here, I think is the intentions. Tezzy's going to trash the recruitment mission to take the coins. Baron still has 1 action remaining. Has not got his Sword Master yet. I suspect we'll see him do so now. Tezzy arming up for Spice Must Flow as well here. Why is Fremen Bond for Spice Hunter? That's always nice. Baron's surely taking his Swordmaster, and does. Beast here? Beast doesn't have the greatest of hands. Kind of curious to see what he's going to do here. Is this a combat you want to get involved in? Do you think it's when you can win? Not without a trip to Carthag, you're definitely not. You can put in 4 troops. 1 for the ring, 1 for Carthag, 1 for Train Jones, and 1 in the garrison if he goes to like a city. But he's going to take... is he taking the... it's prepping up, I think, for Spy Satellites here. I think that's what's going on. When you see players like go to Arrakis Liaison to tech negotiation, that is very suspect. I think he's prepping up for Spy Satellites next turn. I think that's the plan here. He's only got 2 factions he has the points with, so it's a good pickup for him. Don't hate it. You're going to get a point out of that, you'd think minimum. But that's a pretty suspect move, so you'd be expecting him to move in next turn with some troops as well. Paul Atreides has got interesting spots here. He does not have... he doesn't have Corner Market. So remember, Corner Market requires Spice Must Flow cards in your deck, not how many times you bought it. So Shaykh Alud and getting rid of the Spice Must Flow, I don't hate. But you're running out of places to put it. That's the problem here. As such, we're going to see Signet Ring in here. So and he's going to... Oh, Paul Atreides is buying a Dreadnought. Whoa! And he's going Wind Traps. Whoa! Paul Atreides is going off the deep end. I love it. It's amazing. He's gone for that. That is astonishing. How Objective turns up next, which is probably a better tech for him. What is Paul Atreides doing here? Does he have intentions of going... he's looking to take this combat down with Shai Halud. And he's got Scout as a backup, I guess. This is interesting. Lots happening here. This is a fascinating pivot from Paul Atreides. Really surprised. Does have enough for his Spice Must Flow, courtesy of High Council, has 10 in hand. So I guess he's going to go mining or something here. Tezia goes in with Hardy Warriors. And she's going to use the flagship to take this in. So, interesting from Paul to take on the flagship. Didn't expect that. She's got more actions to go. So, she's putting the troops in now as a threat to basically warn people off here from getting involved in this combat. Or she can just put them all in and call it a day. I think I'd actually like having them in garrison and just threatening people rather than... Now they're in, they can't go back. So, you know, interesting to see what's going to happen here. But Beast was definitely arming up for a trip. Baron Harkonnen could well go over the top here to Highliner. I don't think I've actually seen really anyone go Highliner so far in the games I've commentated, so I haven't been able to say the line. It was mentioned to me in a casual game I played the other day. But he could get 9 troops in here, but it feels horrible to do it now when conflict frees are on the way through. You'd rather hold that for later on. But what else are you doing here? I don't really know what else you're doing here is the problem. Your diplomacy isn't feeling too great here. You could go conspiring and double up with bribery to take the alliance for the Emperor. I don't hate that. And just use treachery to get the 2 troops in and just kind of just wait for now. Wait for the spot. Maybe you know, you've got options here as Baron. It's a shame. You really wish it was conflict-free, and you just go over the top here with treachery to Highliner, but it doesn't feel that great right now. Especially when there's water on Alpha anyways, so... It's one of the big things behind the fact you get the 2 water back as well, which is really significant. But he's just going to go ahead and just take the alliance and call it a day. You know what? I don't hate that. I think just getting this alliance, getting the 6th point is okay. That'd be a little bit disappointing for Paul. I think he may have had some intentions there. Those must go in, obviously, as you can see. And I think I don't totally hate that. But yeah, this is fine as long as players. There is rules if like someone has to like end a game early. There is rules that you are provisions to allow you to do that. Basically, resolve the combat, and before you do clean up for the next round, the game gets saved. It's in the rules. Anyways, so Beast is going to have to go in... Oh, no, he's just going to arm up here, seeing what's gone on now. I think this is fine. Also prepping up for interstellar shipping next turn, and you garrison a troop, which is good. So this is fine. Getting ready for the conflict freeze. So Paul Atreides up here. Paul Atreides definitely wanted to get involved with some combat. So he's going to go Shaik Alud, which I think is fine, because you're not going to win this, so that gets trashed. Cars like this are returned to the reserve pile. They're not trashed out the game forever. And put it, just put in the... Whoa, what's this? Oh my god, you can't be... Are you going on... Oh, I know what's going in. He's going in here. And he's going to stage it now. And he gets to keep his Dreadnought in combat. I like it. Oh, he needs to decide where he was going, though. And great flat it is. But I think this is the time. He's going to go in now for stage incident. And it's going to be interesting to see what Baron does. Baron's going to have to reveal first. So, interesting to see if he's going to spend the 2 spice to defend the water. Or maybe he susses that something's going on with Paul Atreides here. It's kind of a weird play to get them all in. Tezia might not like the look of that. Might be a bit nervous here. Just have ambush as backup. Interesting. Yeah, Tezia counting up now and thinking, what's going on here? This is a little bit suspicious. The good thing for Tezia is she has 2 turns still to go. So she can just kind of play a holding play, see what Paul's got in hand at the very least. But we'll see that Paul's not going to retreat troops with Scout. The sword's going to count here, so Tezia's going to be a little bit nervous here. I wonder if this might change her plans and make her feel like getting involved some more troops somehow. She'd have to go to, like, Carthag, though. And she does want to pick up Spice Must Flow here. She has 8 in hand currently, does Tezia. So I think she's eyeing up a trip to, like, Arakeen, maybe? Selective breeding is out of the question, so that's no good. She has Poison Snooper, however, though, so if she cycles her deck, she can then draw an additional card. So Arakeen would be worth 2 with Reckless Liaison, for example. And then you wouldn't feel too bad, but it is impossible for her to get more Spice Must Flow. It's not going to happen, so she's just going to go ahead and take some water. She's going to play a holding play, just wait. Baron has to reveal now. He's got nothing left, so he's got 5 to buy. Second power play out there, so a lot of influence going on. Has to protect the Fremen Alliance. I totally respect that. Beast is going to reveal for free. It doesn't buy. I think that's cool. Deck's big enough. Paul Atreides is going to reveal here for the Spice Must Flow. Finds a second point. And Tessia Avernus is going to see there's going to be no retreat here. And she's going to be concerned. She's going to be worried here. Really worried. Paul has 10 to buy. Spice Must Flow every time here. Opulence is not worth it. Appropriate is not worth it. It does have access to Water Peddler, though, for a spare water, and does, so, but Brucey bonus. Negotiate withdrawal turns up here. Interesting. So Tessia Avernus, again, has everyone else's face up, so she has an action in hand here. Does she get drawn into going to Carthag or Arakeen and putting the troop in? What does she make of this from Paul? Paul has Spice in hand. Private Army could be there. There is, like, other tacticians. Second wave, it could be there. We know Baron discarded second wave, but Tessia doesn't know that. So, Tessia pondering her options here. Kind of a horrible spot for her. It's a bit unfortunate, but, I mean... I don't know. I really don't know what Tessia does here. This is very difficult. If she didn't have ambush, she'd have to put troops in, but she's in this really weird spot, where if Paul Atreides has got, like, Private Army and something else, she's in trouble here. But she's gonna bank that she's okay, and she is correct on this one. So I don't know if that was if it was the right read, or just kind of hoping, or like I've put in enough for the victory point. I don't know, but it is gonna work out for her here. She will take the combat down, and she's gonna see that the Warriors for Naught and Hjorth will be feeling a lot better about themselves once they see Stage Instant come out here. A lot better about themselves. Thing to note, by the way, for the Strong Arm card, by the way, you have to lose a troop. Can't use the Dreadnought for that. Same with Stage Instant. You've got to lose the troops. Dreadnoughts cannot be counted. So combat's up first here. Baron will pass. Paul will stage. And that will be that, I imagine. I don't see Baron Harkonnen using Private Army for an extra water. I'd be stunned. Give him a hand there. So, Stage Instant for the point. Beast not expecting that. So, extra point for Paul here. Gets him to 5. This is not a bad point. This isn't the worst of spots for Paul, but Paul has to get these faction VPs going ASAP. Strong Arm helps. So, Tessia takes the Imperial Basin. Don't know what's going on with Beast isn't going to play. Baron's not going to play. Paul's not going to play. So it'll be a water apiece for them as well. So it's nice for Paul. So Paul's got 2 water. So he has access to research facility to get his to get small spices flows, get his Dreadnought out. So this is not a bad spot for Paul here. Paul's going to be competitive going into the late game. But here we go. Conflict freeze. And first up is economic supremacy. Well. Okay then. So no one has crazy value out of this. Baron's probably most excited. Beast can get there, though, but Beast also has Sleep Must Awaken, so not great for the Beast. I think second place is going to be as important here. Players have to make the decision. So, Beast Raban has prepped up for interstellar shipping here, but also wants to take spy satellites, which he can do. He's picked up Chome Delegate, which is very, very fortunate here, so I suspect we'll see him go take spy satellites and then he'll infiltrate with Chome Delegate. I think he'll be doing that pretty much every day here with Beast. Spy satellites is too valuable here, especially knowing that Paul Atreides also has spy satellites value here, has even more than you. If Beast somehow doesn't go there first, that's a massive opportunity for Paul to take that. That's so much value for him. We'll see what the plan is, but I think you gotta take spy satellites. You've set this up here. I think you'd be wrong to decline it, and will do so. I would have been tempted to go. Oh, you can't go Dreadnought and get that. So spy satellites taken. Yep, it was set up. No one got in the way of that. So Paul's next. So Paul's going to have to rely on Strong Arm. He's got to rely on Spice Must Flows here. He still does not have any access to Spy Shot. It's still just a 2 Persuasion card at the moment. But that's fine. So Paul Atreides, what do you want to do? I think I'd be going Research Station immediately. You know that you have Diplomacy next. You can't go to Mentat. You have no money. You've got 2 water. I would be getting in. I'd be getting Research Station and get a big hand and kind of work it out from there. You've got recruit mission as a backup in case you don't draw too amazing. You can still go. There's other things you can do. Shame you've drawn Spiceless Flow straight away. It's a little unfortunate. Yeah, players are going, but it was a setup. He set himself up there for it, so it's a big find for the Beast there. So a couple of points in the bag. But I think Research Station's got to be the way to go here. Especially, Diplomacy's next, and that's significant. If somehow someone doesn't go to selective breeding, that's there for you. You need to go still suits, you need to go secrets, you need to hit fold space. You've got to get points now. You can't rely on... Spice Stats isn't going to be there, so you've got to do it yourself. Arakeen is the first move. I think he's prepping up for strong arming. Yeah, put them in. So remember, the troops you can lose wherever you want. They can be in combat. So I think strong arm being prepped here. I think that's the plan. Says he's going to snoop here. Finds fold space. You will not be trashing that. Baron Harkonnen's got a bit of a weird hand here. Next card for Paul is convincing. That's a good card to see. You like that. It says here, Vernon's sure he's got to go selective breeding here with fold space. I don't see how you don't make this play. Yeah, and does so. So that will take the alliance. So that's going to get her to 8 points here. She takes a reasonable lead. But Beast is right behind. Baron is not far behind as well. Baron has got interest with a Grand Conspiracy in Core Market. Baron wants to buy Spice, but his deck is not really suited to that at this point. And it's really awkward as well. With Highliner here, it means he can probably win if he wants, but he's not going to get some value out of it. So it's a bit of a tree one. He was really hoping for a different 2-point conflict. Or even Grand Vision, I guess. So Baron's going to just go inside the shipping. No one else has done. He's going to go up and down here. What's he taking tech-wise? Holo Projectors? I don't hate Holo Projectors from Baron. Given his deck has still got a lot of low-quality cards, Holo Projectors has a lot of value here. Get out those daggers for something more meaningful. Looks good to me. I think I'd be taking Holo Projectors. Detonation, I don't think it's the right play. And Shuttle Fleet, it's too late. And you want to keep that spice for other stuff here. So I think I'd be getting hold of Holo Projectors. If you're going to go for a tech. I think you do go up and down here. He's going for the cash. Whoa! Huge left turn here from Baron Harkonnen. Didn't expect this. Okay. So he's just going to go ahead and take some bumps here with Shuttle Fleet. So he is not going Highliner here anymore. That is out of the question. Didn't expect that. I think it's a bit late. I would just be shoring up an alliance here. Shore up the Emperor alliance and just call it a day. There's power plays. It's kind of scary. I know you've got one. I don't know if you've got both. Baron has so much potential late game influence here. It's pretty scary. Invasion ships is the next tech available. I don't expect we're going to see any more tech buys here. I'd be stunned if we did. So Baron has a bump to take somewhere. How does he want to... So is Baron just going to turtle up now and go Crown Conspiracy and look to just take Mentats? Is that what he's going to do here? Kind of amazed he took the Solari now. That feels like he's going to go for Mentats here with his daggers. Feels like that's what he's intending to do. Fascinating spot. He has one more bump. He can take it wherever he wants. And he's going to just make Tesia just think a little bit here. Okay. Interesting. Beast is going to go Carfag here. Has no use for it. Oh, Beast finds plans within plans. Big find there. But Beast has already got hold of Spice Satellites, so it's not offering him anything, but at least he knows that no one else has it. So that's pretty significant. Baron would have been very close to 2 points there, by the way. That's insane. Baron would basically have been there. That would have been a ridiculous find. So Paul Atreides is up next. What's he doing here? You got diplomacy. You've got a strong arm. I think it's time to... I would go full space and strong arm. Take the point. I think you just got to be cashing in points here. You opted not to go research station. Are you considering research station with Spice Trader? I guess. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it now. Because I imagine if you don't, Tesia will, and she has 8 points, and that's very scary. You probably have to go research station just to get in the way of that. No way. No way. No way. Paul Atreides is arming up for Highliner. Oh my gosh. Tessie's gotta go Siege Tiber here, right? Wealth Research Station? It gives you your point, and you're gonna get a spice. I think that's the play for Tessie Avernius. I honestly think diplomacy to wealth, and then you go Signet Ring to Research Station, you drop Fremen, you get that point there, you're gonna get Spicer's Float, gets you to 10. Do you think 10 points at the end of this round is enough to win this game? Looking at it, I would say probably yes. I think that's the play. Paul Atreides had to get in the way of Research Station and hasn't, and Tessie Avernius can surely shut this game out now. Yeah, and she sees it. Hjorth sees it, taking full advantage of the situation. This is going to be the last round, surely, unless something crazy happens. Oh, Baron Harkonnen doesn't find his power play to make Teziev sweat here. Up and down for the beast, he infiltrates. Spice to like he's now got plans. Bit awkward. I don't really know what you do here. I mean, you just put pressure on Alliance, I guess. And here we go. Highliner. Paul Atreides, of all people in this game, goes adventuring. I did not expect this. I did not expect this. Strong Arm's coming here, so he gets the bump. It costs him a troop. So there's a point there for Paul. Paul's going to get another point, you would imagine. Whoops. Oh, I took one out for him. Sorry. My bad. Shouldn't do that. So Paul's going to be getting at least 1 point here for combat, and at least 1 point surely for... He's going to get the full space point as well. So, wow. Didn't expect that from Paul, but it's unfortunately, it wasn't the right play. Tessie Avernius now just ends the game on the spot here, and this was a mistake. Bar some ridiculous draw here, which isn't going to happen. Tessie Avernius is going to get to 10 points, and the game will end. She gets troops as well for the Emperor, and also gets flagships. She gets put in 5 troops here, which is not inconsiderable. And she still has ambush as well, by the way. So, the game will end. I can't see how it doesn't end here. And she looks good to be. She might even get second spot here as well. So, yeah. A good opportunistic move from Tessia, but it was opened up by Paul, and she took full advantage, so kind of deserves it, really. But it had to still spot it, though, so it was fine from there. Baron now realizes the game is up here. Has 7 persuasion, can't buy Spice Must Flow. He's got private army. I think you just got to get troops in here, but how do you get troops in and get more than 1 point for combat? Feels horrendous. Crown Conspiracy, he has the persuasion. He needs a Spice Must Flow desperately, but there's just no way for him to master it. He can't find it. There's nothing he can do here. Frustration for the Baron. Huge frustration for the Baron here. But Tessia is a Baron counter, really. It's kind of how it works out, so pretty insane. Baron out of options. Baron just needs to think about second place now. He knows Beast is going to get a couple of points. Minimum. Yeah. Baron just has to think of second place now and trying to short. It's still 3 points for the groups. It's 5 points for winning, but 3 points for going second, which is still pretty good. And that has to be the priority here. Now, how are you going to get the point here? Just go in with troops, siege Tiber. I would honestly go in with troops to siege Tiber, and then use your other action to go to Great Flat. You pick up the spice, which is good for tie breaks. And you're also going to get used to your signet ring, so you're going to get hold of 1 more intrigue before it's then done. I would go liaison to siege Tiber, get a second water, put in troops, and then signet ring to Great Flat. Pick up the spice. Private army will be good. You'll get another intrigue. You might find something interesting. I honestly don't see anything else to be done here. There's no techs. You've no faction access. I think it's the only thing you can do here. I expect Shadow will probably conclude here. and probably agree. No. Oh, I think this is a bit hopeful here. Goes Imperial Basin. Finds Secret Force, which she has value for, by the way. So you will be able to get in some troops here. But I don't like it this way around. I think you've been better off going the other way here, because I don't really know what else you're doing. Like, this round is this game ends this round, and there's pretty much no stopping that. So it's a little bit inefficient here from Shadow. I would like to have seen him go the way around. I guess this kind of is the idea, but Siege and Great Flat was a bit more precise. Beast is going to reveal for 2. Beast is not going to particularly like this. This is going to come down to Spice tiebreak here. This is going to be interesting. Beast has nothing to do here. It's all kind of rubbish. Paul Atreides is going to reveal. Gets a spice from Spice. Which I tell you, that actually might make a difference here. You never know. Nothing to do here. Tessie is going to reveal for a Spice Must Flow. She's going to be pretty happy. Hjorth surely wins this game here. I think Hjorth has played probably deserves the win. Played pretty solidly. Got all 4 snooper tokens off, which is good. You like to see that as Tessie. Got to bomb the tracks. Somehow found a way to 2 alliances, which is a bit of a surprise. I thought she'd get 1. I was a bit surprised to get 2. But you've kind of got to target those alliances, Tessie. Take advantage of that. She got all the flagships as well, which is a good pickup too. Made a good spot there, so that was a good pick. And then found the basin at the end. So it did enough to win this game. And I'd feel pretty happy with that. But Tessie's going to reveal for 12 to buy. So just Spice and Slow, call it a day. And then Baron has 1 more action. So Baron surely's got to go Siege, right? I imagine Baron goes Siege. I don't see what else he has literally nowhere else to go. There's no text for him to buy. And he now knows the game is over. So I would expect to see Siege Tiber from Beast. There's no... Or Siege Tabir. However you want to pronounce it. Nothing else to do here. Get troops in. Deprive points from other people, but possibly. Here it comes. I think Baron maybe didn't realise maybe that the game was going to end. I'm unsure. But yeah, put him in. Private Army means that you can win the combat if you want, though there's no point using Private Army. But he's going to be good anyways. Tessie will be able to tie with... as it just so Tessie's going to be able to tie combat here with... Now, this is fascinating. So Tessie can tie combat with the Baron. Baron should not actually take any action here and just tie with Tessie, because she gets a point anyways, and it means that Beast and Paul Atreides do not get the point. So if Baron should not play Private Army here, he should take the tie. He can't get anything for anyways. He should pass. And that deprives a point for the Beast, and does do it. Nice play there from Baron. Good spot there. So that's going to be all for this one here. So Tessie Avernus is going to find a way to win here. Well played by Hjorth. I think the rightful winner in this one. It's going to be a point for the Baron. We'll secure 2nd place with 8. And that means Paul Atreides is actually going to get hold of a couple of spies here, but Beast is going to pick up 2 points courtesy of Spice Satellites. There are points to negotiate for that. And unfortunately for Nukeall, it's going to be just the 6 points for him. So a little unfortunate, kind of a shame. No games to be played. So a quick chat with the players. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Interesting game. It was a bit tough. It was tough for some players though. It was a tough one for probably for Nuke. But what do you guys make of it?
It was a good game.
So much skipping.
Struggling to hear you a little bit there. I mean, obviously, Boit decided to go in like combat super early with archery, which looked good. It looked a great row for Beast here. Artillery, swords area looked really good. You got the X-Engineer Valley, which is pretty nice. You set up well for Spy Satellites. I did spot that. I thought the move was on there to set yourself up, and you did. So that was a good catch. It got you a point in the end of the day on the table in a type bid. But no, I think it was a fairly it wasn't an easy game. I think Hjorth probably did the right one. Unfortunately, Hjorth saw the play at the end for the Wealth Research Station once Paul decided he was going to go adventuring. Which I didn't hate, I guess, but it was unfortunate for that it meant Tessie could do that and end the game there, so... Little unfortunate. But you still got to see it, and you still got to find the pickup, so... Yeah, you picked up the other power play and just never found it, unfortunately. It was there somewhere. It was there somewhere. You never found it, sadly, so that was a shame. And there was potential. I mean, Beast also... Baron also had power play as well, so... But it just never came, unfortunately, which was a very shame. Yeah, I mean, it's the way it goes. I mean, like, you had the chance to go Highliner, and he had the strong arm as well, so he knows he's getting a point guaranteed. So I didn't hate it. The problem was just funding. It was not a good conflict for anyone, which is probably good for Hjorth, really. If it was like, because obviously Beast also had the chance to go Highliner early, but it wasn't a good combat to do so. If it was like, you know, like this one for Arakeen, I think Beast goes there first anyway, so... Kwisatz never found. Yeah, a lot of people got these power cards and were just at the bottom of their decks, so just didn't really see them. Which is a little unfortunate. But I think there's some good stuff. I like Paul picking up, going for, wherever it was, Shai-Hulud. I think that was a really good, that was a shrewd pickup. Lets you trash as you go. You get a lot of value out of that. I think it's a really good card for Paul Shai-Hulud. Really like that. So I think it was, it was a fairly solid enough game. I mean, I suppose so, but you got to play what's in front of you. And it was a great board to go combat. And so I didn't hate going... I think Beast was probably the right pick. So you got to play what's in front of you. Even if you like playing like Ekaz or Helena and that, like if the board just doesn't go for them and you don't have an offer, you know, that's hidden picks for you, you know. So that's going to do it here for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like what we do, I do have a coffee. It's in the description, probably. I think it was an interesting game, definitely watch over. I think there was a couple of mistakes there, which is always going to happen. You know, it's a game of incomplete information. It was a little unfortunate that Paul didn't actually go Research Station in the end, and ended up going for the combat. I don't think that was the right call, as it turned out, which is a little bit of a shame. But Tessie still had to take advantage of that, and she did so. You know, like, you can always miss stuff in this game, so don't hate it. Congrats to Hjorth. Hjorth's going to feel pretty good about that, feel good for the group. But we just see how things play out. Anyways, thanks for the company, everyone. You take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the next conflict.